Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the best show on the internet, Sidejag. Yay! Why do we call it that? Because we can't stay on point for nothing. Tonight we're going to talk about exactly. Tonight we're going to talk about Nickelback. But before to do that, I'm Dean,
I'm Hifivega.
and there we go. That's all you need to know. How you been?
Been good, man. Tired
Yeah.
tonight for some reasons. I'm tired every night, but tonight I'm like tired where I'm fighting a yawn tired.
Yeah, no, I totally feel you. I've had a rough week as far as nighttime goes this week. Like, so I have three places I sleep in the house. One of them is my bed, which is choice,
Right.
but sometimes I don't get that lucky. So out in the office, I've made this like makeshift like floor bed, because we have one of those big boy or whatever beanbag chairs.
Yeah.
We have it left over when Haley was in college. And so I have that and this blanket, and I can put it all together. And I have this, I can sleep out there. So, like Monday nights, a lot of the times while I'm waiting for the video to export, I'll fall asleep there. Um, but some nights it's like, so like Monday night, I slept out there, and then I came back, and hopefully I go in the room and it's quiet. It wasn't, so I ended up out on the couch. And so then I wake up off the couch, 3 hours, 4 hours later, and I go into the room, and it's like, I just want a half hour. I just want a half hour on my bed. Just a
Yeah.
quiet half hour on my bed. No, it's so you just, oh God, let's end, and it's just been that all week. Like, she's like, oh, I've been sleeping like crap, but I'm like, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. How is that possible?
Yeah.
How are you sleeping like crap? I mean, everyone in the house knows when you're asleep. Like, there's some nights I'll be out in the living room editing, and it'll be quiet. I go, well, I guess I'm not going to the bedroom tonight. I can hear it out here. Fuck, I'm gonna turn the fan up. And just wish I was someplace else.
Oh shit. That reminds me of like my bed situation. So I let Cassie talk me into getting a soft ass bed, knowing damn well I'm getting too old to be sleeping on a soft bed.
Yeah,
Well, we purchased this bed like 5 or 6 years ago, maybe longer than that.
right. That's
Anyway,
a good one.
it's a soft bed, right? So it's not a firm or even a medium firm.
Oh God,
So it's like I just like I have my we flip it. She flips it when she makes the bed and all that. But it's like it's just like
dude, you got two troughs, man.
yeah, and it's like, dude, I don't like because I sleep on the edge of the bed.
Right.
We have a king size bed. Cassie does take up 3/4 of it, but I still should have plenty of room for whatever reason. I don't know. There's something with me. I don't try to do that. I'll wake up and I have like this much on the bed.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like I've
Yeah.
walked down and she loves it. And I'm telling her, I'm like, I think we have to upgrade to the beds where it's two twin mattresses
Right.
and then on a king size frame or whatever.
Yeah.
That I
Yeah.
have mine and she has hers. And then
Yeah.
we got to do something because like this thing is killing my back.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. Makes sense. That's why they make them. You know, that's definitely why they make them. I just wished we could have just put a bubble of sound treatment right over the top of her.
Good thing I sleep like if as long as I go to sleep before Cassie, I can do it.
Yeah, but I can't sleep through the night, so it's like,
Yeah, me neither. Yeah.
So if I wake up and I gotta hear it, it's like, oh. So
Yeah. I
I'll
usually like try to because she says wake her up, right? But she ain't waking up.
no.
But what I do now is I can like turn her shoulder up like this and put a pillow right there. And if I can get her from laying flat on her back, she doesn't snore.
See that, and I've just given up. I'm a quitter. I don't have it in me anymore. I'm just like, screw it, because I know I can go right onto the couch, sleep, right to sleep, no problems.
Well, Cassie shouldn't snore all the time. It's random, and when she does, it's just loud as it's loud.
Yeah.
Like
No, and there again, it's not every night, but this week was just a rough night, just rough week, and so, and then it's like, you're sitting there and you're like, oh, I just want to go to bed, and you're like, oh, it sucks. because I don't want to sleep out here. And so then you're on your phone, and then you fall asleep in your phone, and you're like, and you're hoping that it's like that's like the Kickstarter where you can just like lay down on the couch and fall asleep for like the next 4 hours. Sometimes I get lucky, but whatever. So speaking of sleeping, did you watch? You watched I Hate to Love Nickelback?
Yeah. I think I wrote that wrong. I think it's Love to Hate Nickelback.
Either way, hate to love them, love to hate them.
Right, yeah. Yeah,
what's that?
I watched it, the whole thing. It was longer than I expected, actually.
It felt long.
Yeah.
It felt really long, but it also felt like there was a lot of information there.
Yeah.
Like a lot of stuff that like nobody fact checked anything. Not the show.
Right.
But just everyone that hated Nickelback, I don't think has ever fact checked anything about Nickelback.
Yeah.
Plus they're Canadians. So that makes you automatically not care.
Yeah, South Park helped us.
Yeah. So, you get these because I didn't, for the longest time I had no idea that people hated Nickelback. Like I didn't know that was a thing. Yeah. And here I'm like buying their CDs and stuff, being like, this stuff's really good. Like I like this stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't like Nickelback. Why can't I like Nickelback? Oh, they're a sellout. Oh, they're this, they're that. And it's like, how do we know? Like, can I question this? No, it's just terrible. I saw it on TV the other night. They were picking on Nickelback. Yeah, but I also look at that as good promotion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I really never liked Nickelback. Because let me tell you why. Because I got burned by a little band called Creed.
Oh.
So I absolutely loved Creed. The first album, like My Own Prison, that was literally when that came out, that was my favorite album of the time.
See, I didn't like Creed.
Right. And where did you get in, Plus it depends on what kind of music, because they started more harder rock and then went into Nickelback rock and then arguably got worse than Nickelback.
Yeah, so it's funny because like after watching the show, it just kind of makes like everything makes sense now. I get why there was such grief.
Yeah.
But I also don't understand why people, it was clearly bullshit. Like they're definitely one of the most popular bands.
Oh, it's like a hipster thing. It was just a hipster thing.
Yeah, they're just being douchebags.
Yeah. It was like I liked them before you liked them. Now you like them, I hate them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's totally that.
Like the reason why I didn't like them is just because they played their songs way low. You would not even have like a 3-song skip and they'd be playing another Nickelback.
Well, and that was the thing, like they were talking about, and it's like at one point in time there was 3 Nickelback top 10 songs, so there wasn't a place in the world that you couldn't find a Nickelback song playing like every 3.2 seconds or some shit like that. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, I could see Nickelback burnout. But the problem is that people liked those songs.
Yeah.
And it's not really Nickelback's fault. I get it, but who, and it was early 2000s, so people are still listening to the radio back then.
Mm-hmm.
I understand because CDs were a thing. It's when I bought my Nickelback CD, but I've always liked Nickelback, and I to me this documentary was like, explain to me why people hated Nickelback, because I didn't understand the hate for them, because it's a solid band,
right?
Like, and after watching it, I can appreciate them even more. Because now it's like we actually know everything there is to know about Nickelback. Like they weren't a corporate sellout. They weren't like, they're just a bunch of misfits,
right?
That they were in Canada and decided to make a rock band, and were hugely successful because they actually know how to write songs.
Well, there's a couple of bands I can compare to, but what I will say is the songs In a Vacuum, the hit songs, absolute bangers. Never Made It As a Wise Man. There's ton. They probably have 20 songs.
33. They told you in the
Well,
33 top 10 songs
that I would like. 20 songs.
Yeah, for sure, 20. But if you think about it, 20 songs that you would like,
right?
Like that's because when you go to iTunes and listen to an essentials playlist, like even Imagine Dragons, like you play Imagine Dragons essential playlist, and it's like, okay, okay, so there's like 10.
Right.
maybe 11. But
Even
20?
I love Tyler Childers, but I will say, like, when you play those songs, they're deep cuts. I like them. I think they're awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But as like a official, like a banger, no. I mean, you
Yeah.
got like 5 or 4.
Right.
Yeah, and it's the same Zach Bryan, whoever you want to say. I would say Taylor Swift. I probably like 3 songs. That's it.
Well, you
But
got me there.
but she probably she probably
Not
has,
any.
she probably has 30 or 40 songs that people would consider bangers.
Oh, for sure. For sure. So here was the funny part. So I watched the Nickelback, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I enjoyed it a lot. It was cool too. Some of the footage was from here in Florida. It was from Tampa.
Yeah.
So one of the stadiums they played at was. I go, fuck, that's Tampa, and which was cool. But I enjoyed it immensely. I thought it was great. They interviewed the people that mattered. It was really good. You didn't they didn't downplay the fact that this is what it did to us. Okay, this is what we just stepped into this. Like, we were successful.
Mhm.
We paid with our lives to be successful. We had to get a fucking loan, a $35,000 loan, to make our first album. No one would give it to us.
Yeah.
And one of the parents was the one that co-signed the loan, and I'm sure they've gotten paid back many times now. But and they took whatever label they could get to make music, which was like, they were like, it's like,
Type O Negative was their big band.
Oh, Slipknot.
And Slipknot, yeah.
Yeah. And it was like, why are these? Well, because they're paying our bills, bitch.
Exactly.
Because your music ain't. Nobody's over there going, oh, Slipknot, yay. They are now, but not back then. So it was like they deserved all the success that they got because they worked their asses off to get it.
Right.
The hate made no sense other than the fact that they were extremely successful, and people always pick on people that are successful.
They were cool to hate. They were
cool to hate, which made no sense. But I thoroughly enjoyed the documentary. I thought it was good. I thought it was well put together. It kept bothering Sue because it kept changing the outfits between the brother and the other guitar player.
Yeah.
And she's like, which one is this? I'm like, it's the brother.
Yeah.
They look so much alike. I'm like, yeah, because they're old white guys. I mean, what? No. Like, well, he's wearing a hat. Well, now he's wearing a hat. I'm like, calm down. It's okay. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. It was long. I thought it was a lot of information. It was an informational documentary to me more than pure entertainment.
Yeah. So
I got all the info, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Felt better about it, right? Yeah. Now you're like, I can kind of like them if I want to. Screw these guys.
But because I compare them too. Here's the one that what I never talked about is Grateful Dead.
Okay.
I love Grateful Dead. I think they're like a jam band, is what I compare them to, and Rush. Like, people are absolutely mad about Rush, and it's like, I just never, like, Tom Sawyer comes on, I'm jamming it. That's a banger.
Right.
Grateful Dead, I can't name one.
Me either. I know there is one.
Yeah, there's got to be probably 5, but yeah.
Well, so the funny part is like a lot of bands are like Dave Matthews Band. But and the guy called it. He goes, I wanted a stadium band.
Yeah,
we wanted to sign a stadium band because stadium bands are fun.
Dane Cook of Car Audio, or not Car Audio, of Rock.
Yeah, well, yeah, but nobody likes Dane Cook anymore, and people still like Nickelback.
Well, they came back around, is what it is.
Right. Well, and COVID really, like, they made some cool songs in COVID, and everyone was like, oh, these guys are really good. What were those idiots talking about?
Yeah.
And then they went deep in the albums, like, oh my God, these guys are amazing. And we're like, yeah, we know. We've always been amazing. So I watched the Duran Duran documentary that same night.
Yeah.
And it was funny, the correlations between the two. Like very similar documentaries by chance, because like the Duran Duran one was shot, I don't know, like four years ago.
No.
But this one wasn't. But it was funny because it was like just band problems. Like Duran Duran had a problem with one of their guys that they had to get rid of, and Nickelback had a problem with one of their guys that they had to let go. But it was mutual. And Nickelback was more of a mutual thing. Duran Duran was like, we got to get this guy out of here. Like,
yeah.
He needs to go. You know, and it was just in like they were playing Pool and Duran Duran video, and they were playing Pool and Nickelback video, and I was like, okay, this is just weird. This is like, did they like the guy who directed this like watch this one and go, oh, that's a good idea? Like, let's
Yeah,
just
they're gonna look. Oh, you'll look cool if you play pool.
yeah, you look cool if you play Pool.
Yeah.
So a couple of things about, and the Duran Duran one was equally as fun. Like they talked about a lot of neat stuff, and like they had the, it was a good documentary.
Yeah.
If you're a Duran Duran fan, or if you're just remember that time.
If I can name one Duran Duran song, Boys of Summer. Or am I thinking of someone else?
I mean Rio.
Oh, okay, Rio. Okay.
Yeah. Either way, that's my time. That was that was like big time MTV go crazy. Shit was nuts. And when that album of theirs dropped, it was like, holy crap, this is just awesome. So I enjoyed both those. One of the things I thought was funny about the Nickelback was, hearing them talk about the experiences they've had being part of Nickelback, and the hate and the success and the failures. And like the one was talking about how like their kids were picked on in school.
Oh yeah, that was you knew, but it's gonna. That's sad. I mean, it's sad,
and that's messed up, and that really tore him up, because it's like, look, we don't even know why people don't like us,
right?
And then they're like, because they watch some stupid cartoon or whatever, they're picking on my kid. Like, that's so dumb.
Bruno Mars.
Mm-hmm.
He quit making music because of that.
Oh, did he? Is that why he stopped?
He took a 3-year break. He's like, people are getting tired of my music.
Yeah.
And he took a 3-year break, and then he came back with a banger. And it's like,
did he?
Yeah.
Haven't heard it.
No, it's not now, but he did that in the past. Like, so it was. Oh. I can't even remember the time period it was his name, but he's like, people are getting tired of my music, and I took a.
Yeah, but I also look at that as like, there's like okay, let's look at like AC/DC for a minute. Okay, so like AC/DC came out with a record every 2-3 years, and it was like, yeah, there'd be one song here or one song there,
almost all the same song with just
I mean, like Thunderstruck was probably their last big hit.
And I'm saying that as I actually love AC/DC.
Oh, I love them.
The songs are like,
it's my whole rock playlist is like,
right.
It's like, okay, I need to get out. It's like Van Halen and AC/DC. It's like, okay, guys, I need to spread. And even Van Halen, like they would keep coming in. Eventually, it was like, and Kiss was the same way. Like Kiss would come out with a record every 2 years, whether they needed to or not. Right. And Kiss fans would love it. They would love it. They would just and you'd listen to it, you'd be like, man, there isn't one song on here that doesn't suck.
Yeah.
It's like these all suck. But they would just keep coming out with them. And one every now and then, like Thunderstruck was a hit. Right. And then after that, there really wasn't anything else. And you listen to them and you're like, like I think they came out with another song not too long ago, and it was just like, not too long ago, within the last 5 years, and it was like, yeah, this is okay. Just play your old shit, man. Just play your old shit. Yeah. We love your old shit. Just play that,
There's
and that was the thing with Nickelback. Like they're doing their concert, and they're like, we got 33 songs that we can play at any concert. We're gonna play those. Let's figure out what songs we're gonna play at this next event.
That's the best thing about them, is because the other artists, they don't like that they had a one-hit wonder. Our new stuff, like, bro, your new stuff sucks.
Yes,
no one's here to see your new stuff.
Yeah,
you can blend it in.
It was like Duran Duran. It's just they've never stopped making music.
Yeah,
like they've made like 17 albums.
Yeah,
and I'm like, whoa, who's listening to this crap?
It's like a band like 311. They have, Amber is probably their most popular song ever, but they do certain playlists at certain times, and a lot of times that's not on it. It's a lot of deep cuts, so they're just playing to their fans. Like if you go see them, don't expect to hear the Amber, because it might not be on the set that night.
Right, and to me, that's one of those things that's like,
Yeah,
You
kind
know,
of sucks.
yeah. So like that was the thing with Kiss is like, you know, Kiss put together their playlist. It's like, listen, we know what songs rock. We know what
Right.
songs we like. We know what song everybody wants to hear. These are the songs we're gonna play, and we're gonna go out with a banger. We're gonna come in with a banger. We're gonna go out with a banger. We're gonna do all this shit in the middle that everyone's heard, and we have these acts and skits, and when
Yeah.
they do Psycho Circus, it's like that's a mediocre song at best. But
Right.
they put it on well, and there's a whole performance video, and they do all this shit. And it's like, oh, this is pretty cool, you know. And you're like, all right, I'm down with this because it's like a live music video happening right in front of my face.
Right.
This is I don't even like this. Now you play that, and I get excited, like, oh, this is awesome. But then I would never listen to that song in any other,
Context.
it's not a listening to her.
Which, like, if you never listen to Kiss, you only know them vaguely, you're gonna like Detroit Rock City.
Yeah. Well, that was
you're
the
into
thing.
that, but then when they play Beth, you're like, what's this? A personal favorite of mine.
Oh yeah.
But, you know, a lot of
that
people
was like when we went to see him, I was like, I don't know if Haley's gonna know any of these songs.
Yeah.
But they do such a good job of performing the song. If you didn't know it and you never heard it, even Beth, you're like, oh, this is I'm gonna add this shit to my playlist. This is so fun, you know. And she's up there like, this is so amazing. And I'm like, it's amazing, you know.
Oh,
okay.
I'd love to see Kiss, especially like see them play Beth live. That would be cool.
Oh yeah, you know, because that's when they all go off stage and take their everyone takes a break.
Right, yeah.
They're all factored in, you know, and it's like Beth is, you know, they all go off stage except for the drummer,
right?
You know, and then they all come back out, and it's kind of amusing. You know, Gene has his big moment where he sings one of his songs, and that's when the blood and stuff comes out of his mouth, and oh yeah,
yeah. There's a couple. I'd love to see Kiss. Never seen them. I'd love to see Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, I don't think you're ever going to see that guy.
Never going to see him, but I'd love to. I'd love to see.
Well, there's another one that's never quit.
Yeah,
you know, and every now and then, you know, he has an album that just does great, or he'll have a song that'll do great.
Yeah, sometimes he just had one with Post Malone not too long ago.
Yeah, it's like, okay, cool.
Crazy.
You know, it'll be, but there again, it's to put out a whole album, I think I think that time is come and gone.
Right, yeah.
You know, we don't need a whole album from you. We need like 3 really good songs. The problem is like in most of these documentaries, when you listen to these guys talk, they're all like, I wasn't even going to put this on the record. Like this wasn't even going to make it. And that became their number 1 song. You're like,
you never know. Yeah.
Yeah. So you just got to keep throwing shit at the wall.
When it's like one of my favorite bands is Third Eye Blind. They only had 1 hit at maximum 2 hits.
Right.
And they've put out probably 10 albums, and they just put one out last year. If you're a fan like me, it's awesome.
Right.
Nobody knows. All they know is Semi Charm Kind of Life and How's It Gonna Be? You know, that's like that's the 2 songs they know. Or Jump. Yeah. No, 3. They probably know Jumper's probably the biggest one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But you know, I enjoyed it. I liked and there again, I'm a sucker for music, so
yeah,
you know, and especially good music. I thought it was great.
It was cool. It was cool getting their side of the story. Like I kind of wish we would have known more about but this isn't related to the subject. That's why they didn't do it about Chad and Avril Lavigne.
Oh yeah, they totally left that out. Other than to say I was married to her at one point.
Because it really doesn't make sense with the story. It's just something I would like to know more about. Like, how did it come about and all this stuff. But
yeah, are they still married?
No, they got a divorce like 3 years after they were married.
I was gonna say it's it didn't sound like they were still together.
No.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, you know, the other thing too is didn't really realize I've never seen them perform live. I've never seen their faces. I don't typically watch music videos.
I only knew Chad Kroeger. That's the only one I knew what he looked like because the video, the album cover.
Not a clue. Didn't know what he looked like. It was the first time I ever seen him.
You had memes like the "Look at this photograph."
Never even paid attention to that shit.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah, but it was funny because I was like, I didn't realize like he was a troublemaker. He,
Yeah, I didn't realize that either. Yeah.
and all these songs come from him, and I'm like, dude, this guy has written some of the fucking coolest stuff ever.
Yeah. If
Like,
you take those songs in a vacuum and they weren't just overplayed a million times, those songs are bangers, man. And
right,
that's why they're reliving now because, young Gen Z kids have never heard this stuff.
right, and they
And
get to
I'm like,
curate their own playlists.
this is a freaking banger right here.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
and they can make their own playlists now.
Right. Yeah.
Because nobody listens to the radio.
Yeah.
So it's like it just goes into the vacuum of gym music.
TikTok is
walking
radio
music.
now.
Yeah,
That's
TikTok.
how you hear it. I hear like a lot of, I've probably added 5 or 10 songs to my playlist from TikTok.
Yeah.
But
Mine is
as an
very
old
cool.
person, I watch my TikToks on Instagram when they come to Instagram as a reel.
Yes.
That's how I see it. I don't see it on TikTok.
No,
But,
I don't have TikTok.
yeah.
And if you like your privacy, you don't want TikTok either.
Yeah.
Trust me. And it's not a conspiracy. They are listening all the time.
They all are.
Oh no, we know they are. We've gotten confirmation from some people that know stuff, and
Yeah.
oh yeah, it's bad. Like
Mm.
they're the crazies in Washington. They're like, we need to ban this shit. They're not wrong. They're not wrong.
Yeah.
Because they are, yeah, there is no privacy at all, which is expected. Let's be honest.
Mhm.
We don't, but like you're not even getting private on your phone calls. Like it's like they listen to everything. So yeah, I don't even know how that shit's allowed on a phone. From what we were talking, I was like, how did you guys even let this on there? It's like, it's all available to them. Like, okay, you guys are weird.
The insidious part is a lot of apps have that same access, and if you don't choose,
Well, a lot of apps will have it, but then they just don't use it,
right? Yeah.
because they don't want to be dickheads.
Mhm.
But there's always a dickhead. So,
Yeah. A whole country.
yes, yeah, dickheads. Yeah, for sure.
They're at least they're leaders. I'm sure Chinese people are wonderful, like the people that live there. But
Oh yeah.
your
Oh,
leader.
no. Listen, I mean, if you hold the people accountable for what the leaders of the country do.
So listen, sometimes people do. That's what I'm
I
saying.
know. Oh no, I get it. But I mean, if that was the case, every Canadian would be a crackhead.
Well, listen, I don't want to be held accountable for whatever Biden or Trump decide to do either.
No, me neither. No,
don't judge me by that. They're going to do their own things.
Yeah, when you got to sit there and go, "Why? That wasn't me. I had nothing to do with this. I don't know. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I swear."
Yeah.
All right. So, what else have you been doing? What else have you watched?
I'm up to speed on. I watched season finale of The Boys.
Oh,
It's over.
it's over now, right?
It's over. The season's over.
Is the series over? I thought they were ending the series.
The series is not over. The season.
Oh, okay.
Okay. They were building something the whole season. It didn't pay off. So that's disappointing. I had fun with the episodes. They weren't as foul as the other episodes.
Right.
They just went way too far last season, I think, with that. They dialed that back now.
Okay.
And now it's still, I'm just invested in it. I wouldn't, like, if someone asked me if they should watch it now, probably not. No, I'm just invested in it.
Yeah.
So I watched that. It didn't end well. Next season maybe good, may not be. There's stuff happened and pieces got moved on the board, but you didn't get a payoff.
Well, I felt like every year you don't get a payoff. I mean,
Right.
It seems like every time it ends, there's no payoff. Like even like they're working every season. At least the first 2 seasons I watched it or try to watch, it's like magic, failure.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just come back and it's like failure.
It's starting to get like what the hell was that called? The zombie show.
Oh, Walking Dead.
Walking Dead, right? Where it's like, oh, build up. Oh, you destroyed this guy. Guess what? There's a new guy. We're going to this place.
Right.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, because I was like,
who did that well on the last season was Stranger Things, because they left. There's a thread hanging. They tied up all loose ends that you wanted to know up into that point.
Right.
Now there's a new chapter that's going to happen.
Right.
That's how you end it. That is how you end it.
Yes.
In my opinion.
Yeah. And it could end badly, but
Right.
at least you buttoned everything else up and everyone was satisfied.
Yeah.
That's the skill of the writing staff for sure and the directors.
Right.
Apparently they don't have that on The Boys.
They don't.
No.
And so House of the Dragon, 2 episodes left. I was expecting big. I said last season, like, they need to come in and just start. We need a battle straight away. Has not happened.
Really?
We're already 6 episodes in. There's one dragon battle. It's freaking awesome. But there's one battle with the dragon battle attached. That was awesome. But that was the 5th episode. So, but
what are we just talking?
It's the political drama, but they sucked me into it, man. I don't know how or why, but it's like regular Game of Thrones. The political drama, the chess pieces being moved. What are they going to do? This person's over here doing this person. So they kind of sucked me in, and I've had a good time thus far.
Okay.
Let's see how the last 2. They're building towards another battle. If they don't have that battle in this one, like, what are we going to do? Just have a season every time where nothing happens. This does seem like there's going to be a final battle. They've had one skirmish that ended up being a big battle. Dragons were lost. Important people were injured and hurt, and it put other things in play.
Right.
So that one is I'm happy with it, even though it wasn't what I expected.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, that's typical Game of Thrones. You're not expecting anything,
right,
exactly. Or whatever you're expecting is never going to happen. I mean,
right.
Ned Stark died in the first season, so I mean,
yeah.
Wow, you put a lot of you advertise the shit out of him and you kill him right away.
Exactly.
What are you telling us? I mean, this is stupid.
Nobody's safe. Message received.
Yeah, well, I mean, just the ones we want you to kill, we got to struggle along until the very end for you to finally kill them.
I did see a meme the other day where it was like, today marks 8 years since Jon Snow was saved or resurrected for absolutely nothing.
Right? Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah. So I watched the last episode of The Acolyte because there again, it was there. I had to watch it, and there was a lightsaber battle between a good guy and a bad guy.
Yeah,
but I don't know who the good guy or the bad guy was. It was stupid. The whole show is just stupid. I mean, Star Wars: A New Hope put so much thought into making the Jedi the good guys,
right?
And then, they through all of the Clone War stuff, you were just prepping for Anakin to turn into Darth Vader, and you were seeing these Jedi do amazing things, both good and bad. But like, this show doesn't help us at all. Like,
so it's just like a side story that basically
it's just a shitty time for the Jedi that, like, they're like almost pacifist lightsaber users that don't really want to hurt anyone. I don't even know. It makes no sense. But either way, you're just like, this is dumb. Yeah. And it pisses me off to watch people that got excited about it. Like, oh my God. It's like,
people love that show for whatever reason.
I always feel like I'm missing something.
Yeah, me too. And that's why I just try, because we have similar tastes when it comes to Star Wars.
Yeah.
So if you don't like it, outside of, I think The Mandalorian's the only thing I liked. And I didn't like it because it's Star Wars. I liked it because it's like a spaghetti Western.
Yeah.
But, I'll take the advice because
I did see a preview. There's a new Western coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it looked really good. Apparently Westerns are on the rise again.
Yeah.
So I don't remember what the heck it was called. I don't even remember who was in it. I was just going through it. I was like, oh shit, this looks like a cool Western.
Well, you know what? What's the not Yellowstone. The hell's the Western? Something Stone. I can't think of the name of it. Where he's like, I'm your Huckleberry.
Oh, Tombstone.
Tombstone. Okay.
So there is a new Wired Earp one coming out.
Oh, is
Yeah, so it's called Earps and the Cowboys. And
I'll
it's a documentary / TV show
right.
that is going to be like history and, like kind of like one of the Discovery Channel things where they like have actors doing stuff, but there's a narrator
Yeah.
that kind of explains what's going on. So that is coming out also.
I'll definitely check that out.
Yeah.
That line, I'm your Huckleberry.
Yes.
So I seen a reel, and I had to go check it to see if it was real, but I haven't watched the clip yet. But apparently that line was supposed to be, I'm your Hucklebearer. Because the straps or the handles on side of a coffin that you hold are called huckles.
Yeah. Okay.
So it was supposed to be, I'm your Hucklebearer. As in, I'll carry your coffin.
Okay, and so nobody had any idea what that meant, so they just
went, I'm your Huckleberry, which I think works better. It's like less obtuse.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah.
So are you going to go see Deadpool this weekend?
I don't know about this weekend, but I will see it before we have another show.
Oh yeah, that's right, because you're not. Oh, okay.
Yeah, show next week. So
yeah. So then let's make we'll make it early in the show, and we'll just say we'll watch Deadpool. I can stop looking for movies.
I had a invitation to watch tonight, Bailey and Matt, and I was like, no, I do my shows on Thursdays. Oh yeah.
They're going to the midnight showing.
No, they were going at 7 actually.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah. So I guess
I don't want to go see it with a bunch of people.
No, me neither.
I'm like, can I get a private screen?
I've been so now we just drive 45 minutes because they have a theater that has the reclining seats, and it's like one of the ones where you can eat at. So there's like this much space in between each seat.
Yeah.
And then we sit on the ones where there's a gap. So there's like a walking gap.
Yeah.
So, oh, this reminds me. I seen something. I watched, we were in Dallas over the weekend, and I watched Twisters.
Oh, the new one.
Yes, I almost vomited because we watched it on an IMAX or an XD screen, the big one.
Yeah.
Only seat they had available were 2 rows from the screen.
Why would you waste your time?
I know. I shouldn't have. We went ahead and did it, and it was either that or go to this piano bar, and I was like, well, I'm going to see the movie. And but I know, I was like, it probably won't be that bad. It's reclining seats. I'll be back. No. But the movie itself, here, all right, let me ask you this.
Okay.
When you did you see the previews for it?
Yeah, of course. I have it on Laserdisc.
Now, I'm trying to know if this is a Mandela effect or me and Derek are absolutely tripping, because we swore that we seen the original lady from Twisters in the trailer. Do you remember that at all?
No.
Okay, so because I thought, well, there's a new girl, there's a whole new cast.
Yeah, young kids and all that crap.
And this whole time they're alluding to her mom. Finally, you see her mom. I assumed that her mom was the original Twister lady.
Right.
It's not. It's just some other lady that has
nothing
to do with it. So that one kind of, I was expecting that the whole time. It didn't happen. But the movie itself, 6 out of 10.
Oh, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad, not great. It's worth your time.
So I have to wait to see that one by myself, because Haley has already looked at it and been like, this looks so stupid.
Yeah.
Why would anybody want to see this? And I'm like, well, the first one was really good. She's like, whatever. And I'm like,
the first one was good.
The first one was good.
And I think Derek said it. He said exactly what I was thinking. Like, if he hadn't seen Twister, the original, this movie would probably be an 8.
Oh, really?
Right. But when you compare it to the original, it just doesn't quite meet the same standard as the original, I don't think. But it's still not bad.
Yeah. Well, the original was that was cool.
And the original, there was nothing really like it at the time, and it just...
No. and they put money into something that normally wouldn't put money into.
Right.
It's like EcoStorm or whatever the hell it was just
Yeah.
shitty graphics, just dumb.
Right.
Whereas Twister was like they tried to make it look like, okay, guys, hold on, that like we know this is fake,
Yeah.
but that's not even like, come on, like really, like
Well, it's like, listen, you've seen the stadium in Tampa in the other movie. Cassie and I seen places we know very well in
yeah,
Oklahoma. The
yeah,
the
right,
the other guy that you don't know is good or bad. The other crew they're vloggers,
right,
YouTubers from
right.
Arkansas around our area. So it's kind of it was funny.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's cool. Yeah, because I mean, you live in the tornado part of the world that
Right.
we don't have that. We just have hurricanes. Sorry, we have the big
Yeah,
tornadoes.
tornadoes with water.
We have tornadoes that you can see from space.
Yeah, tornadoes that can drown you. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I mean, but they're not going to pick you up and throw you far like yours.
Well, listen, we had to look it up because Cassie was telling me, she's like, "What's the difference between a tornado and a hurricane?" And
Size.
I was like, yeah, for one, they're bigger, but I was like, I guess the water element, and I can't even remember what she looked up, but there's something else different about it, the way it originates and all this stuff. So,
Yeah, because a hurricane takes weeks
mhm,
to develop. A tornado just happens.
right,
So a hurricane has to do with the way the Atlantic moves and the way the weather comes off of Africa and it
yeah,
moves across the ocean, and how the air belt moves across, and whether or not it's going to finish the spin and turn into a tropical storm. You have
right,
a depression, then a storm, then a hurricane. And when it's out over the hot water, the hot ocean water, it just builds steam or builds up energy. And then by the time it gets to the little island belt there, Cuba and all those little things, it's just like, sucks to be you guys, because we're gonna
deuces,
bulldoze this over.
we're gonna ruin everything.
Yeah. And then the thing that we always laugh at is we have the spaghetti models, or what they're called,
Yeah,
which is all the news agencies that have the radars create what they think is their gambling path. So
right,
it's like weather by Vegas.
yeah,
Where do you think the line is going to go? The lines move. The lines constantly move. And it's like, I'm going to bet on blue.
right,
I'm going to bet on yellow. And it's like, you know, and it's funny because you're sitting here and you're watching it, you're going, man, this is gonna kill my house. This is gonna suck. And it's like you're watching the weatherman, and I can't tell you how many times it's like it's coming straight up Tampa Bay. It's gonna come straight up Tampa Bay. And then like all of a sudden it like it took a hard left and went right through, or a hard right and went through Ponta Gorda, and you're like, oh shit. It's like but it's just cruising along, and then they'll go like, there was this one spaghetti model from such and such agency, and they had it doing that, and you're like, well, that's they're fucking smart. We should. How did they figure that out? And one year you had it just like fuck. Normally when it's hit land, it's supposed to lose speed and die
right,
down, and one year it didn't do that. It went all the way up and across the state and out the other side.
yeah.
And then picked up, as soon as it hit the water, it picked up more and went all the way up and took out like North Carolina, New York, something up like that. And it's like, holy shit. It
That's
just
like the most recent one, the one that got us stranded on the cruise.
yeah. Went right up into the
That traveled the tropical storm, even after it wasn't a hurricane, traveled the same
yeah,
path as the eclipse,
yeah.
which is crazy. I guess that's how nature works. Like, I guess
Well, I mean, so I however you feel about global warming, it is on you. Like I if you're for it, you're against it, you think the science is bullshit. People that say, what can man do? kidding me? All we know is that what we had the planet's hottest day this year, recorded hottest day this year. And it was only, but it's funny because it's like the previous hottest day was the day before.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
It's like, and global warming is not just warming; it's extreme. So, we recently, when we were 17 degrees below zero here, it gets cold here during. We're extreme. So, but by cold, I mean like 15 degrees, about the lowest you're ever going to see. But we're hovering around the 30s. But it was minus 17 here, and I've never experienced anything like that in my life.
No. Yeah. And as I always listen, I joke about it, but I always tell people, hey, listen, if you call and it's snowing in Tampa, the world is gonna end. Okay. Because there's no reason at all that there should be like, and don't get me wrong, it's gotten really close to, like, when I was in high school in the 90s, like, we got some what almost looked like snow. Okay. It was like that day where you have like
the flurries.
Yeah, but it wasn't even that. It was like 10 minutes of just like, oh my God, is that snow? Like, it was just the perfect, but it didn't like land on the ground. But like, if there's ever like an inch of snow anywhere in this area, the world is over. There's no coming back from that. Everyone should just pack it in and just it's done.
I mean, Texas thought the world ended when we got that minus 17. They were somewhere in that range, and they were like, "Oh God."
Well, and that's the thing. Like Texas is the canary in the mine shaft. I mean, we see what's happening there, and we're like, "Holy shit!" I mean, dude, the damage that got done. Like, you just see all those high rises. Like, dude, there's gonna be people replacing windows in high rises for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
And only because they're gonna have to figure out how the hell are we gonna do that. Like, I mean, and imagine having those high rises and being like, we can't even go to work, like, ever, like, for the next 5 years. Like, how I mean, when you're 30 stories up, you can't just put plywood on the windows.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen people try, but like, winter is coming, dude. Like, it's gotta be 0 in there. It's like, and there is not literally enough people to fix all the windows that got smashed.
No, everything was wrecked when we got back. Where was it? Corpus Christi. Everything was done. No, you don't. You're just lying to yourself.
Yeah, no kidding.
No one wants it to be negative anything. No one wants it to be over 100.
Well, and see, that's the thing. Like, so, and there again, that's the swing, right? Because, like, and we know this because we talk to everybody. That's one of the amusing things in my mind when we ask people about the weather on the news, because it's like, in the wintertime, it's so cold. Like, you're just like, yeah, negative 55.
Yeah.
But then in the summertime, it goes all the way up to like 100.
Yeah.
Or 98. And you're just like, that's such a huge swing. We would never get that swing here. Like, the coldest it'll get in the wintertime, like the coldest it will get and like it might get in the 30s. Like, might. I mean, every now and then, maybe at like 4 o'clock in the morning, it got down to 22 or something. But that's like, and no one's awake for that shit.
Right.
But even like, the freezing, like, we all know it's going to freeze because the news just cover your plants.
Yeah.
And you just drive through the suburbs and all the bed sheets are covering everyone's bushes. And you're just like, are you serious? Like, okay. But Canada's just a whole nother animal. Yeah, but there again, they get the temperature swings.
I don't know how you live, but then you guys die when it's 90 degrees. So
yeah, this is true. So
literally,
I die when it's anywhere. Like, when I was there in April, it was 30. Yeah. I'm going, do you guys understand how cold it is, right? Like, this is, and they're like, no, this is nice. I go, no, you don't understand. This is the coldest my body will ever get.
Yeah.
And this is April.
Oh, when it was 17 degrees out here, I had like 3 layers on, had a mask and all this, and a guy from Minnesota walking by in shorts and shirt called me a pussy.
Yeah. Oh, I'll tell you right now. They'll go, "You cold?" Yeah, I'm a pussy. I'm from Florida. I'm the biggest pussy you will meet. This isn't human. Like
Yeah.
God bless you guys. I don't know how you do this. Trust me. Stay here. We don't
Yeah.
want you. But like, huh? And then yeah. So it's like you have these
So
colds and then you have these
so
heats.
hot in Texas. My
Oh yeah,
God, it's hot in Texas.
dude. When we were out there, it was like at Brian's place up in Modesto, which is Northern California, which should be cool. It was
Right.
110 and 114. And I'm just like, oh.
Dude, we went to Vegas last time. I think I'm this just recently. I think one of my flip flops kind of melted a little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Oregon. Yeah, and see that's the thing. Like you guys would never get these temperatures.
That's insane.
So I mean, who knows? Is it global warming? Don't know. Is it some strange shit that the planet's doing? Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. Don't know. We don't have enough evidence. I guess we haven't recorded temperatures. We don't know. We've had it good for so long, and now it's not. So everyone always looks for something to blame it on. Yeah, 96 in Edmonton last week.
I mean, everybody hates that. No one's just like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
People in Florida, you're used
but in 3 months it'll be 20,
right.
Or whatever the Celsius equivalent of freezing your balls off is going to be. We don't get that here. Like Florida does not. Now here in Florida, if you go to northern, dude, you can literally go 2 hours up the road. It's not like that anymore.
No.
Like it'll be cold. Like where Sue's parents live up in Crystal River.
Yeah.
Man, you go up there and it's a whole nother fucking weather, bro. Like they get down into like the teens and they get
Really?
it's like, oh fuck.
I've never been to like the Destin area during wintertime.
It'll be cold. It'll be cold by our standards. Here, no, we will not get that cold.
Third time,
Yeah.
It can get like that here too. It can get like that here, but we have the wild swings. We can be freezing and we could be 100. We had like I don't know what it was, like 90 something days where it was over 100 degrees.
And well, it's like SEMA for Vegas. Like we'll go there and we always take jackets because it's always cold in November, and it's like shit. Like okay, it's not what I was expecting, but I don't know, man. I don't know I don't have any answers for this shit, but the movie Eco Storm was stupid as shit. And the weather makes absolutely no sense anymore to me. So, I own shorts and a lot of hoodies.
Yeah.
Outside of that, dude, when I was in Canada, people were like, bro, you own pants? Yeah, I bought them for the trip. They're like, really? Go, yeah. They're like, oh, you still got on those stupid shoes. They have wool linings. They're like, are you serious? I go, yeah. Yeah, I bought the wool lining. And I will buy another pair if I go back this year. So I will have 2 pair. So I do not have to wear them 2 days in a row. And they're just like, wow. And I go, yeah, I don't play around, bitch. Like, y'all nuts.
Yeah.
I got my toque. Like, yeah, it's ugh.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't understand. I was in my bathing suit last weekend.
Yeah.
Y'all haven't seen you haven't even unpacked those things yet.
Putting up Christmas lights in swim trunks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Duh. Who doesn't? It's like I sit there and go, it's weird because I know a lot of people. There might be snow where these things are. No, maybe not. I mean, I feel like the snow really doesn't hit until January.
Yeah, unless you're how far north are you if you're in Minnesota?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like screw you guys. That's crazy. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah.
I don't want to know how you do it. That's the thing. I don't care. I remember being in Michigan and it was fun because I was a kid, but I would not want to do that as an adult. No. I've driven in the snow once and I was like, fuck this.
We have to do it quite often here, but it's not. So we get a lot of sleet and stuff like that. It's worse than having snow.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's Jamaican bobsledding team. That Cool Runnings is the movie you're talking about.
Cool Runnings.
It was a good movie.
It was.
Yeah. So before we go, have you had anything spectacular to eat? in the last week or so?
Let me think. What have I had? Oh, I had one of the best grilled cheese sandwiches I ever had in my life.
Oh.
We have a little place here. It's like a New York style deli,
Mm-hmm.
and they just got a new location. And we went there, and they always have the good, like the Jewish what they call it, lox or something like that.
Yeah,
Just
lox.
cakes or whatever.
Yeah.
So they have those. We got those as appetizer, and then they had a deal. It's like a sandwich and a half soup or whatever for $15.
Right.
So I'm looking through, like, I kind of want a club. I don't want a hot sandwich. I want a cold sandwich. And then I was like, I don't know. I could get a grilled cheese. What's soup of the day? And that's what changed my mind. She's like, well, tomato, Italian.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, tomato soup. Yeah, tomato soup, grilled cheese. Fantastic combo. And it was raining like, it actually wasn't hot that day. It was raining like hell. I was absolutely
so it was perfect.
It was perfect. And
yeah. So the sandwich could have sucked. It just went with the weather. So
right, it went perfect. But Cassie, she just wanted. She's like, I want a Caesar salad.
Okay.
I was like, okay, She used to hate Caesar salads, but
I still hate them.
But going on the cruises, that's like her go-to. Because she likes, like, she typically would like a regular like a chef salad or whatever. And so she got that, and she got the grilled cheese as well. So
nice.
All in on the Caesar salad.
So the only thing I've had that's been spectacular is we got these cookies from Publix.
Yeah.
And they're carrot cake cookies.
Ooh.
So it's like a cookie,
right,
that has pieces of carrot cake inside of it. So think of like a chocolate chip cookie,
cream cheese frosting.
In parts of it inside of it, yeah. So it's like they were making cookies.
Right.
They're like, oh crap, we're out of chocolate chips. And they're like, oh, let's just throw that cake inside of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so good. Oh my god. And they're thin and crunchy. It's like they forgot to put like eggs in them or something, so they didn't rise.
Yeah.
So, but they're so good. I'm like, these are awesome.
How do you feel on? So this is weird. I prefer like a soft cookie.
Yes.
For a chocolate chip, right?
100%.
But then also, I love like the Little Famous Amos.
No.
Cookies.
The crunchy ones?
Yeah, just the little ones though. Not the.
I can understand. I get what you're saying. Yeah. No. I don't like crunchy at all. So they're only like, these are crunchy around the edges because they're skinny and they're fat in the middle, and then they have rock sugar on them. So it's like there's a lot of crunch to it, but it's so soft, and like even the corners that are like crunch, it's not like crack. Yeah. It's more like it's just like that hard. It's almost like it's a soft thing with a shell on it, like an M&M.
Exactly.
You know, where it's soft but it's crunchy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just so weird, but they are so fantastic. But no, I hate crunchy cookies. Like I gotta have soft cookies.
That's how I am too. But though, for whatever reason, that small, and even the small Chips Ahoy that are like that, I like those as a snack. I don't think of them as cookies though. I just think of them as like a Teddy Graham or something like that.
Right. Like well, it's like Oreos. I like Oreos.
Yeah, I like Oreos. Oreos.
You know, and like you can't like a soft Oreo, which is like a whoopie pie, I think is what those are called. Yeah. I'm not a fan.
Do not like those.
No, I'm like
the only way I like Oreo soft is if I dipped it in milk.
Yeah, but that's not soft now. That's like just weird.
Just ready.
Yeah, it's just like it looks hard and it's just like in your mouth.
You got to be careful with that because you'll lose the whole Oreo. Like if you hold it for 10 seconds, it's gone.
Yeah, that's when you got to eat it with a spoon.
Yeah,
that's how I eat my sushi. You know, they're over there like chopstick and shit. I'm like, no, give me a fork. I'll just like hold it over dip it into the wasabi / stuff, and I'll be like,
there you go.
Yeah.
I need to give sushi another go.
No, you don't.
Because I'll see what because I didn't think I would like cold shrimp, like a shrimp cocktail. But I love shrimp, and I tried it, and I was like, you know what? I like shrimp cocktail.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it. Shrimp, like, if I'm in the right mood, a shrimp cocktail, you know, as long as it has cocktail sauce, the cocktail sauce has got to be on point.
Right. Because shrimp cocktail has no seasoning when it's
So it's just the sauce.
yeah, it's just the sauce. So if you don't have
Yeah.
the sauce, it's a boiled shrimp that they made cold.
Yeah, it's no good.
Does not sound good at all.
No. Yeah. I'll pass on that. Because I'm not like seafood in general. It's like,
Yeah.
like I had sushi last night. So, because as it turns out, it's $5 sushi night at Wednesdays at Publix, which I didn't know, and I was apparently the only one that didn't know that. So, I got some sushi and had a really good night. It was fantastic.
I like seafood. I like crab. I like shrimp. I like lobster. I like most seafood. I'm not getting crazy though. I'm not going to eat the scallops. I tried them. I did not like them.
Right.
I love clam chowder.
No.
Matter of fact, it part of our trip and going in California at PCH, every place has clam chowder. So I'm going to do the clam chowder tour throughout. So
I can see that. Yeah. I mean, that's one of those things that I understand. That's like, it's like, that's one of those foods that it's like you either love it,
yeah,
or you hate it. You don't like you don't have the mood for. No, nobody says that.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: like Cassie hated seafood, but I got her, and she still will not. She won't order herself, but she will eat a bite of lobster. She'll eat a shrimp, depending on the situation. And one day it was me, her, and Kyle at Red Lobster. And Kyle also loves clam chowder. So that's the only thing he gets when we go there typically.
Right.
She's like, let me have a bite of that. And I was like, Cassie, listen, like before you bite that, I usually want you to try everything, but I want to tell you that clam chowder is the fishiest thing I've ever tasted in my life.
Right.
Like if you don't like fish taste,
right,
100% you're not going to like clam chowder because it is literally the fishiest thing I've ever tasted in my life.
Right.
And she takes a bite and she does everything she can to not just spit it out.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm glad you tried it. Now you know.
Yeah.
Now you know. It is very fishy, but
yeah. I don't mind fish, but I do not like clam chowder. I can't. And there again, I like when we were in dude, I don't remember where the hell we were, but they had like these famous crab rolls.
Yeah.
And I was like, you gotta try one of these. And I was like, okay. And it was like $25 for a freaking crab roll this big. I was like, I mean, I get the whole win in Rome, but shit, man. I mean, I didn't realize these crabs ate gold. Fuck. And I took a bite of it and I was like, can I have my $25 back? Like, and then I got like one bite because everybody else wanted to try it because like, oh my God, it's $25. I was like, yeah, I only wanted one bite. Dude, it's $5 a bite. What's up, Chris?
Oh, Chris.
So yeah, I just I don't know. It's like steak and seafood. It's easy enough. I don't like either one of them. So I mean, don't get me wrong. I like fish. I'll eat fish. I enjoy fish, but it's all the other weird seafoody shit. All the monsters. I don't want anything to do with monsters.
Well, I also don't like for whatever. I just don't care for salmon. I'm not a
nobody likes salmon.
It's not gross to me, but I just don't like the taste of it.
Salmon is disgusting. It's okay.
Like oysters, no. Oysters are bad.
Yeah. It's okay, Chris. We forgive you.
Yeah, Dean said the N-word. We didn't bleep it.
No. I was gonna say, what N-word did I say? No.
Yeah, it's like do you ever watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Nope.
So there's one on there where Danny DeVito, they all have a hallucination that they're turning black, but they think it's real. And then he's going around like, I'm gonna say it. They're like, no, you cannot say it. He's like, I'm black.
God. Yeah. No, I missed that.
Oh man.
Sucks.
Nostalgia.
You need help, bro.
Yeah.
All right. So Deadpool is the movie. We'll be back in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks to watch it.
I'll be in a different location. I'll have to bring my laptop. So
that'll be fun.
It'll be fun.
I know.
Hopefully, I picked a good hotel. I did do some research because I'm going to be in Ruckersville, Virginia. Hillbilly country.
Have fun with that.
Yeah, actually, I'm staying in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Okay.
I think that's also where they done like the tiki torch situation happen. So let's see. We'll see.
All
I'll
right.
survive it.
Well, hey guys, thank you so much for watching as always, and you have a wonderful night.
See you in 2
And I
weeks.
need your help. Well, you have my phone number. It's that hard.